Fentanyl is a very, very deadly substance to the point to where just a little bit of the powder can kill an adult. So imagine what that would do if you ingest these pills that are laced with fentanyl. I don't know that this is what she died from, but I'm telling you guys, this is what I believe. So let me tell you the story. A 2-month-old baby boy from Kentucky survived several days by gnawing on his own fingers while lying on the top of the rotting corpse on his mother, who died of a drug overdose. That beautiful baby right there, newborn baby. The mother, her name is Danielle Wade. She was 29 years old. The last time she was seen alive was on August the 13th, 3 days after my birthday. Isn't that something? She was last seen alive on August the 13th when she was visited by her mother when she visited her mother along with her infant, Drayshawn, and her older son. 5 days later, Adrienne Wade said her daughter was discovered dead inside her apartment in the Four Oaks apartment in St. Denis section of Louisville. The mother was summoned by police to the apartment to identify her daughter's body, which she was told had been decomposing for days. That's the grandmother, the mother of the girl who died. Which she was told was decomposing for days. The dead woman's baby son was found alive, laying on top of her corpse. Speaking through tears, which you guys can see. Let me see if I can back that up. Right here. Speaking through tears, Adrienne said her grandson survived by chewing on his own hand for sustenance. I think the baby's hand is intact from what I understand, but that is painful to hear. I know that is hard to hear, y'all. The baby was taken to the hospital to be treated for dehydration and the self-inflicted injuries to his hand. Drayshawn's grandmother described the infant's survival as a miracle and credited God with keeping him alive for days with only his own flesh to nourish him. On Wednesday, the Louisville Metro Police Department confirmed that Danielle died of a drug overdose. Her baby son is expected to make a full recovery, so it sounds like the baby is going to be just fine, which is a blessing in itself. Adrienne said she will take care of both grandchildren and take them both into her care. But I'm telling you guys, what I think it was the mom might have been taking some of those pills, some Molly, some X, whatever it is. And I think that those pills are probably laced. I've seen this happen a lot over the past few years. But let me give you guys the fair usage. It was only 2 news videos, but let me show you guys these news videos, okay? Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Here we go.
Mother found dead and her 2-month-old baby boy found with her body surviving on his own for days. Wave 3 News reporter Ken Baker spoke with the family about what the baby did to stay alive. We have to warn you, some of these details may be disturbing to you.
Clinging to a picture of her daughter, Adrienne Wade is looking for answers after she was found dead just days ago.
Her kids was at my house. We went to school. We had a good day. We all, Friday the 13th, First I think it was funny.
And for this mother and grandmother, that was the last time she heard her daughter laugh. The next thing she knew, tragedy had struck. Wade says on August 18th, she was called to her daughter Danielle Wade's apartment to identify the body. She says when she arrived, she learned her 29-year-old had been dead for several days, with her 2-month-old grandson alive, lying on top of his mother.
Decomposing for days. With her little baby, a little newborn, laying on top of her.
Wade says her grandson, Drayson, survived by gnawing on his fingers.
Her baby that was in that apartment while she was decomposing, hand was raw from trying to eat, trying to survive.
He's currently in the hospital recovering from dehydration and injuries sustained to his hands. The grandmother says she counts it a miracle that her little grandson made it days without his mother's care.
It is miraculous because God is involved. God's involved. Oh, it's very miraculous. Because he had his hand raw in her for days. Survival techniques.
On Wednesday, LMPD confirmed that Danielle Wade died of an overdose.
I can't believe it's how her week ended. I can't believe this is what happened that quick. Life is so short. And it just happened just like that.
Wade says she'll be taking care of both grandchildren moving forward. 2-month-old Drayson is expected to make a full recovery. Reporting in Louisville, Ken Baker, Wave 3 News. It says on August 18th, she was called to her daughter Danielle Wade's apartment to identify the body. She says when she arrived, she learned her 29-year-old had been dead for several days, with her 2-month-old grandson alive, lying on top of his mother.
Let me give you guys my closing thoughts. The story itself is relatively short, but it is bittersweet because the children survived. Both children survived. So y'all asked, where was the other kid? The other kid was there as well. I don't know how old the other kid was or what the other kid might have been thinking, but it was a little boy. Let me see if I can find, I think there was a photo there somewhere. Let me see. Right there. So there was another child there. And I'm going to assume it could have been anything. Somebody said Perk. Somebody said Molly Percocet. Y'all know like the song says. But a lot of people are taking these recreational drugs because they get used to doing it. And then you come across a bad batch of that stuff. And it can cost you your life. But let me say this, more than anything, like I say, this isn't the first time we've seen somebody die of a drug overdose or anything like that, you know, because everybody has their vices. And, you know, you just hope and pray that people don't do something that's detrimental to their health, to themselves or their children. But I want to use this story as an example because, and I want to give a shout out to my father, my mom, my best friend Kurt Dog, my daughter's mom, to all the people that keep in contact with me on a regular basis. Not only do I love them, but I'm thankful that if they don't hear from me in like a day or two, they call. Some of them, like, I always talk to somebody at least every 24 hours. And use this story more than anything, that if you're thinking about your loved ones, we all do this, where you get so caught up in your day-to-day, you go into work, you're being at home, you're trying to take care of your family, your husband or your wife or your kids, or you're trying to figure out your day-to-day stuff, trying to fix things. And a lot of times you're just not thinking to call your relatives, call your loved ones. Tell them hi, check on them, see how they doing. And the fact that nobody at all had called this woman in almost 3 days, especially having a newborn baby, you also have to ask, where is the biological father? Not saying that he should have been responsible here, but what I'm saying is if you have a newborn baby this young, if nothing else, with me being the biological father of my daughter, like, best believe that me and my daughter's mom, we were in contact every day. I saw my daughter every day. I was over at her house every day up until it was time for me to start taking my daughter and having her by myself at the house by myself. And even my parents came over to check on me, if not every day, every other day. Sometimes it was my mom, sometimes it was my dad, sometimes it was my aunt, but it was always somebody. We were all checking on each other. You got to love your family, love your loved ones, and especially if y'all know that women suffer from postpartum depression and all of these different things that y'all mention, then you have to know that they're going to need some emotional support as well. And the simplest thing we could do, call them, text them. You don't respond to my text, I'm about to pull up at your house. You better respond. If I call you, you don't pick up, I'm coming by. And I'm pretty sure that the grandmother, that's probably one of her deepest regrets. That she didn't call earlier, she didn't check earlier, she didn't do a pop-up. She didn't pop up over there earlier. And I'm sure that's probably tearing her up on the inside. But I will say this. To grandma, don't feel like you failed. This is not your failure. Whatever happened to the mom, that story will come out. But I'm going to assume that she probably just took some recreational drugs and it cost her life. That's not your fault. You can't live your children's life for them. But here's where the blessing comes in. The baby went into survival mode. You can thank God, which I do, if you believe in a higher power. You could also thank the child's natural instincts to try to survive. Children are smart, children are strong, and that's why we need to give them every opportunity to grow up and become something great. Because I think that this baby is surviving is going to become somebody so awesome. And I'm thankful that this baby lived and will be able to tell this story. I'm thankful that the other child that was there as well will be able to live and tell this story. So guys, please put a prayer hands up in the chat. And it is doing everything that I'm doing everything that I can to not break down, because I continue to think about my friend and the guy that she was with, that they passed away and they were found rotting inside of a house just like this story did. Just like this mother did. I don't think that's ever going to sit well with me, and I miss my friend all the time. Think about it all the time. But all we can do is we just got to move on with life. Do better by our children. Do better by our family, our friends. We can't do anything about the ones that we've lost. But what we can do is we can take all of that love and energy and put it into the people that are still living. So grandma, take all the energy, put it into those babies. Love them. Give them everything. Give them your best. To y'all who are listening to the sound of my voice, take all that love and energy and put it into your loved ones. Call them, text them. Make sure that people are okay. Sometimes that one phone call, that one text message might end up saving somebody. Just by letting them know that you love them and you care, okay? From my heart to yours, thank y'all for listening with an open mind and an open heart. Thank you.